Hey guys, good morning. Sean Lynch here, residual Bitcoin miner, and today I want to go over an article that pops up in the top Google searches when you research Bitclub Network. And the reason why I want to go over this with you is because it's an article that I read before I joined and decided that I want to mine here, and it's an article that a lot of people are going to read when you introduce them to Bitclub Network, and I want you to be able to go over this author's review and go over why his points are not valid. So let's do a Google search here. Bitclub Network, enter. So what comes up at the top? We've got the official website. We've got another site here, and if you get and just near the top here, we've got an investment warning. So people that are looking for some bad publicity on BitClub to be safe, well, they'll find this review. And this is the one that I want to go over with in this video today. So by Ophir Bagel. So what we're going to do here is just go over a little bit of this article and try to disprove what he's saying negatively about our business, about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, and how you can help others understand why most of this is not true. Okay, so for starters, he does state that he can't prove that Bitclub Network is a scam beyond a shadow of a doubt. He does think that Bitclub Network's business model is lacking and he wouldn't invest in it personally. Sure, that's fine, that's his opinion. He starts off by finding a 5-minute YouTube video from an affiliate and says that it's total gibberish and doesn't give any value to its viewers. He can safely say that this person on video doesn't know what a Bitcoin is and he's just reading from a text. Okay, so what? I mean, there's a lot of people who are new to Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, and if they want to go out there and make a video and explain to others what they think they know about it, that happens all the time. Not everybody is an expert in this field. This doesn't prove anything. So just grabbing an affiliate's video because he's trying to explain Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining in his own words, and he doesn't agree with the way he did it, that doesn't mean anything about Bitclub Network. So totally, this doesn't make any sense to me. All right, next he says that Bitclub Network claims to be some sort of mining operation. Now, I find that funny because if I hit Control F on my keyboard and search for the word front, a little bit down his article, he says that I must admit that BCN does have a very legit front with their mining pool operation being responsible for 4.2% of the Bitcoin network's activity. So he's referring to the charts when you go to blockchain.info and look at the hash rate distribution. Bitclub Network's been hovering between 3 and 6% now all year, and once we have our 800 petahash added by February 2018, we should skyrocket in the ranks there, maybe 10 to 15%. We'll see. So I don't understand why he would make that claim. I mean, we've got the proof on the blockchain. We can see each and every block that Bitclub Network machines are responsible for mining. We can see the block rewards included in the block, and we can see the transaction fees as well. So he comes up with some calculations, and this is an old article back to 2016. So he's saying that we're making $1.4 million monthly, right? New Bitcoin monthly, $1.4 million. That's a big deal, right? That's a lot of money being generated by these machines. Now, going back up to the top of the article, he does this spiel about a Ponzi scheme, so explaining to people that Ponzi schemes are run by bringing in new investors to pay off older members. Now, a mining pool doesn't go from 40 terahash to 350 petahash in 3 years. Without investing in equipment and paying for electricity and renting a facility. Like, there are a lot of costs to raise this. So what I want to do now is bring you to an article here, which I found, bitcoinmining.com, a review of the Antminer S9. So an S9 Antminer, which is the equipment right here that we use to mine Bitcoin with. It's the most efficient machinery on the planet right now with 16 nanometer chips used to mine Bitcoin. The advertised capacity is 13.5 terahash per second. So I'll take out my calculator here, and Bitclub Network's hash rate, you can verify yourself by going to bitclubpool.com, is on average right now, as of today, November 23rd, 2017, 350 petahash. There's 1,000 terahash in a petahash. So 350 petahash is 350,000 terahash. So let's divide that by 13.5. So that means roughly we have 26,000 units, 26,000 S9 units running now to produce that type of capacity. And the advertised price of these miners is roughly $2,000 if you're buying them at full cost. So just the equipment alone, we're looking at $51 million. Now, where are you going to raise $51 million to buy equipment if you want to start a mining pool today yourself, right? People don't understand that in order to be profitable at Bitcoin mining, it's a competition. It's a business because you're competing against huge organizations in China, huge mining pools all over the world now, with large amounts of equipment who are mining Bitcoin every day. So you can't really expect to just chip in $500, buy some equipment, let it run in your basement, and start making a lot of money. Bitcoin mining difficulty has adjusted over the time. This article is nice. It's got a few good points about the S9 miner. I like this sentence here. A single S9 unit boasts a hash rate equivalent to the peak capacity of the entire Bitcoin network from its bootstrapping until mid-2012. So just one of these machines has the terahash capacity of the whole Bitcoin network from the launch in 2009 to 2012, its first 3 years. All those people are just using their computers and their GPUs. So these machines have gotten really efficient, and now people are buying these in bulk. So that's the competition you have now if you want to mine Bitcoin. So the mentality of just throwing in $500 and doing nothing and getting paid, that's not what we're selling here at Bitclub Network. We're not guaranteeing an ROI. So let's go back to his article, and he talks about, let's say you get an investor to pay $100 and you promise to pay them $10 a month for the next 12 months, meaning you'll get more than what you invested. We don't guarantee an ROI. They're nowhere on our website unless an affiliate is guaranteeing, making claims that are not true. That happens in network marketing companies. You can't control your affiliates. I mean, you do try to control them as much as you can, but we've seen this in many different businesses. You can't control your affiliates, but there's no claim on Bitclub Network's website that if you buy a $500 mining pool share, you're going to generate X amount of Bitcoin over X amount of time. There is no ROI because Bitcoin mining is entirely dependent on how much equipment you can get running up and how profitable you can make it for you and all the investors involved. That's keeping the electricity costs low and trying to drive the electricity costs down because that's the most expensive part about mining. And if you look into what Bitclub Network is doing, they've chosen locations in the world where electricity is cheap, renewable, and now they're looking at technologies to even eliminate electricity costs, like use the heat of the computers to generate electricity. Like it's things in the downline that you're going to see new technologies to reduce the cost of power to basically nothing, so that it can even be more profitable to mine Bitcoin. So these statements here of guaranteeing or setting an expected return, this doesn't make sense because we do not guarantee an ROI on Bitcoin. So because of this, he thinks it's a Ponzi. He thinks that we only get paid if we make sales, and that the fact that an affiliate will make a commission is a Ponzi. Well, guess what? Every business has sales. Every business to grow needs to sell equipment or a product, unless it's not a real business, right? So having an affiliate get a commission because they sold some hardware. So if I approach somebody and say, hey, $500 or $1,000 or a full founder's position for $3,500 will secure some equipment which will be installed on your behalf and start mining away at Bitcoin. Well, do I deserve a commission for bringing in $3,500 into the business? Of course I do, because I'm the one who's advertising the business. It's a network marketing company, and there's many network companies out there that are successful and are run, and they're not Ponzi's. They just have a bad rap because people are used to doing their 9 to 5. They're used to being a wage slave, right? There's nothing wrong with being to go out there and make sales. So you're selling Bitcoin mining equipment, which is being installed on your behalf, run in facilities to mine Bitcoin. And all the Bitcoin that's mined is verifiable because the Bitcoin network is open source. You can verify how many Bitcoins per day are mined by the company, and that new Bitcoin is going to be used to pay each and every member a daily payout based on how many shares you own. And then whether you choose to reinvest those shares back into the business or not is entirely up to you. You have complete control in your back office whether you want to reinvest those earnings back into more shares or withdraw them. Now, if you reinvest those earnings, so this is new money, right? New wealth that gets created out of thin air because of the work of these computers, and that's a lot of people don't understand that, is that we're buying a product that's generating Bitcoin, and Bitcoin happens to be worth $8,200 US. One Bitcoin, as of today, is $8,200 US. So all the Bitcoin that we're mining has value, and that value is being distributed to the members. And and I'm personally reinvesting that value back into the business because I want to have more shares, more mining equipment to my name, so that over time I'll have a bigger payout. And now by reinvesting those earnings, well, that's great for all the members as well because we're using those newly mined Bitcoin not only to keep our pool maintained and updated and to reinvest in more hardware, but we're using those earnings to pay residual commissions so that we can feed our families. So well, let's look at my back office here just for fun here. So my mining pool shares kicked in mid-June, and right now we're mid-November. So it's been a few months, and I've already earned passively almost half a Bitcoin. Now, half of that Bitcoin has been I've completely reinvested this half of Bitcoin. Okay, so I've got it set to 100%. I've reinvested all of my Bitcoin back into more shares. Now that's created a residual income for my upline and bought me more equipment in the data center. That's a win-win. My upline gets to feed his family or do what he wants with those commissions because he deserves them, and I get to increase my shares in the business. So it's a win-win, right? What other business can you go out there and create a residual income for yourself without an auto ship, without having to continuously buy a new product? Because the product that we're purchasing is creating wealth, right? These machines are plugged into a data center. They're securing and verifying Bitcoin transactions, right? They're securing a blockchain and they're collecting transaction fees and block rewards. And those transaction fees and block rewards are then distributed amongst us to create a residual income and to keep the pool updated. Because you can't just buy this equipment overnight, right? If you dig into the pool's growth, you'll notice that when Bitclub Network 3 years ago started off as a small group of investors, they had 40 terahash worth of mining power. 3 years later, November 2017, we're at 350 petahash, right? So we've already calculated how much that's going to cost, about $51 million of equipment. Now we're adding 800 petahash in the next 4 months. So by February 2018, when you visit bitclubpool.com and look at the pool's hash rate, you should see it around 1100 petahash if the equipment gets deployed on time, right? If there's no back orders, if there's no setbacks, this is the timeline that we have. So that's 800 petahash. How much does 800 petahash cost without any discounts? So 800,000 divided by 13.5 terahash per unit times $2,000. That's $118 million worth of equipment, right? Without discounts. Now, Bitclub Network buys in bulk, so I'm sure they're not paying $2,000 per Antminer, S9 Antminer. But you see my point. There's a lot of money invested in this hardware, and this money comes from members repurchasing, right? Using their earnings to put back into the pool, and of course, bringing in new sales. And this is just the Bitcoin mining aspect. We haven't even touched the GPUs yet. We haven't touched Clubcoin, which was given to members for free, right? Our own blockchain distributed to members, which went from 20 cents to now $5, all that profit that's been generated for members. We haven't touched CoinPay, which is a project that we've worked on for the last 3 years to distribute to businesses to allow them an easy method to accept cryptocurrency transactions from customers. And then, hey, we can collect on those transaction fees. Instead of businesses accepting Visa, MasterCard and paying 3 to 5%, well, how about you accept a Clubcoin transaction or a Bitcoin transaction and only pay 1% in transaction fees? And then those transaction fees will go to Bitclub Network members because we're the one who's distributing out there, right? We're using our large distribution channel, right? Distribution is everything. McDonald's is the #1 burger place in the world, not because they have the tastiest, best burgers. It's because they own the most property. They have the largest distribution chain. They're everywhere. So that's why they're so large. So Bitclub Network has that same vision. We want to get representatives and distributors in many countries so that we can distribute our products and services that are Bitcoin related to the masses. Now, people joining Bitclub Network, some people will join passively, right? They just want to invest, they just want to put some money in, get some miners, and get a return, and they don't want to grow a business around it. That's perfectly fine. But obviously, don't expect just putting in a $500 investment and then expecting all these absurd returns. Maybe people are selling it too wrong. It might just not happen. If we go back to this article about how profitable ant miners are, so there's a paragraph here that says, based on inputs and difficulty, an S9 will yield about $150 per month or $2,000 a year of profit. So, but once again, the ROI will vary because you never know what's going to happen on the Bitcoin network. You never know how many miners are going to enter or leave the space. They'll leave Bitcoin's blockchain to go mine Bitcoin Cash or something. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? The space is just changing too fast. We've seen that a couple of times. We've seen Ampool take their power completely out of Bitcoin's blockchain and point it towards Bitcoin Cash's blockchain, which completely lowers the hash rate. So then the network adjusts the difficulty, and then that changes everyone's ROI. So there's just no way to predict a steady ROI. So when you're investing in Bitcoin mining, those are the risks. Yes, Bitcoin mining could be massively unprofitable tomorrow if certain circumstances change. What if all governments tomorrow wake up and say Bitcoin is banned? You know that would cause some regulation, some restrictions. People might sell from panic, right? So there's a risk involved in mining, but people that have entered Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining since the beginning have been rewarded because they're the pioneers. They're leading the front. They're spending the money to secure the blockchain and then trying to make a profit out of it at the same time, right? So let's go back to the article. Is there anything else we can address? He mentions the website has Who'sGuard protected. I bought tons of domains, and GoDaddy's always offering me Who'sGuard, so I don't see what the problem is with this. So if someone wants to mention in the comments down below what's wrong with buying Who'sGuard, let me know. All right, next he's talking about the free marketing websites we get to distribute for free, and the testimonials that are placed on these websites. So once again, doesn't matter. Could be a picture of me and then he would just find dirt on me and put it on this article. It doesn't matter. I don't know this Mr. Ansari, and it's not going to affect my decision whether this is a real business mining Bitcoin or not, right? Like you could take any affiliate in the business, put a picture, you could probably find dirt on me, and then just put it in this blog. He took a customer support chat. Well, I've had many customer support chats with other businesses that didn't go so well. Most companies outsource their customer service anyways. The English is not their first language. It comes with back and forth, and you never really get an answer. So I don't know. I'm not sold on one customer service representative chat. All right. So why is a sponsor needed to join Bitclub Network? Well, that's how the business works. So let's go back to 2013. Let's say we were 10 people with a vision. We want to build a mining pool, but we don't have thousands of dollars to buy hardware. How can we crowdfund this and create passive income for everybody involved? So the first 10 people, let's say, were to raise $100,000 each. Well, that's going to give you $1 million, right? So with that $1 million, you can buy some hardware, find a facility, get it going, and then start mining some Bitcoin. Now, if those 10 people did nothing but mine Bitcoin, they didn't reinvest any of their earnings that they got from this Bitcoin, and they didn't make sales to buy more equipment, probably 6 months later, their mining pool would be not profitable anymore, because over the last 3 years, there's been some advancements in technologies. We've seen CPUs upgrade to GPUs. We've seen ASIC miners come in play. The S2, the S3, the S4, the S7, and now present day the S9, which has 16 nanometer chips. And then they're working on 10 nanometer chips down the road. So if you're not reinvesting earnings that you're making from Bitcoin, and you're not selling, you're not looking for ways to raise funds to buy more equipment by selling shares, right? Selling shares to the mining pool to use that money to buy equipment, then your pool's just not going to grow. And then 6 months, 7 months down the road, you're just not profitable anymore. You have to shut down. So what's wrong with this model? What's wrong with going out there, selling mining pool shares, use that money to buy equipment? That equipment stays up to date. Everybody is forced. Now, in the first couple of years, everyone was forced to put a certain percentage of their new Bitcoin earnings back into the business to keep it growing. Right. Lately, that restriction has been removed because there's so much growth. In 2017, it's a lot easier to discuss. There's a lot more experts on YouTube now or in the world that can give good information about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. I suggest you follow Andreas Antonopoulos, Richard Hart, just to name a few. And then people are educating themselves. And now that they're educated, they want to get in this space and earn more Bitcoin. And Bitclub Network is a great way to do that. It's a great way to participate in mining, securing this blockchain, and getting paid to do so at the same time. And by creating awareness and adoption, that's only going to drive the price up of Bitcoin. So it's like a win-win. So that's why a sponsor is needed, because that's how the business has grown from 40 terahash to 350 terahash in just 3 years. That's why in the next 4 months, by February of 2018, we're going to see another 800 petahash added to this pool. It's not because everyone's just a passive investor putting in $500 and expecting the world. It's because we've got hardworking people, we've got programmers, we've got marketers, we've got distributors, and we've got people that are thinking of the long term to add more Bitcoin related services to increase adoption to drive the price up. So that's what Bitclub Network members are made of. You're going to have your on and off affiliates, obviously, on YouTube making outrageous claims to make sales, but we see that in every business. People just make claims that are not true just to help their chance of closing a sale. So I hope you guys understand this. Now he bashes the $99 membership fee. Well, I mean, someone's got to run the technical support. Someone's got to keep the website updated and running. Someone's got to keep the marketing material up to date. People have to be hired to do this. Now, since this is a crowd-funded mining center, who's going to pay for this, right? If we're all investing in the mining pool hardware together, who's going to pay for support? Who's going to pay for the website? So it only makes sense that the company has to generate some sort of revenue to pay for website admin and back office costs. So I'm okay with paying a membership. All right, so now he's doing some math. Math is not important, guys. I mean, if you're going to mine Bitcoin, if you want to mine Bitcoin today, you have to do a lot of math, right? You'd have to calculate how many machines you want to buy, what your electricity cost is going to be, what your cooling cost is going to be, where are you going to get the money to buy this equipment. You're going to do a lot of math, and there's no reason to do all this math with Bitclub Network. It's done for you, right? I've been to Iceland myself. I've been in this 45-acre facility with thousands of these machines from the ground up, right? So these machines do exist. There's a physical, real product, so there's nothing to worry about there. You don't have to worry about your money going into not going to Bitcoin mining. It is. The money that we're making is going to this equipment, maintaining it, and paying commissions to our affiliates, because that's how we grow. There's no growth if there's no sales in any business. I work in a telecommunication company, and over the last 10 years that I've worked there, billions of dollars have been reinvested from sales that they make back into their business to make the network larger, make more coverage in the country, make the network faster for data speeds, right? You have to reinvest in your business in order for it to grow, and Bitcoin mining is no different. So that's what I have for you today, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop your comments down below. My name is Sean Lynch, and I'll see you guys next time.